How's that one? There was no words to that one. It was just a sweet riff. Sometimes everybody, all you need is a sweet riff. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello, and welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. Live as in alive and well. How are you? Thank you. I'm great. Today we're painting up Moff Gideon, soon to be released for Star Wars Legion. Do you have a date? Have we set a date?
We do have a ready set date.
Ready, set, date? Yep. We have a ready, set date? Have we set it? I don't know it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We have set date. But we're going to be painting it up. I think we're going to start with the flesh tones. Kind of go over the philosophy of painting flesh. And just putting our own distinct look on there. I got a couple different colors out. So go through the process of building up the flesh tones. And then maybe we'll do white armor or purple armor or whatever color armor y'all want. Maybe something different in black, or maybe we'll just stick to black. Maybe it just goes into my Imperial Remnants army. Who knows? We'll see. Summer! Show me that mini cam. Yo, yo, yo. Hello there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're gonna paint Moff Gideon now. White armor to match my droid. That would be cool. So I got a selection, a couple of different peachy tones out. I got a couple of different browns. This is more of like a burnt umber. This is a little more like a green brown. This one's cold. This one's warm. I got some green and red here, which are super useful. And also when you mix green and red, what do you get? A beautiful brown. I got a couple of other different colors just to play with. Maybe we might slide a little blue into the skin tone. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Is that Zenith primed? Yes, it is. I typically go Zenith primed. I find it lets me see the miniature clearer and easier for painting, and also it looks like somebody's lunch finger touched that miniature. Got a little greasy spot, but it lets me see the form of the miniature easier, and also I can use it for glazing to produce quick and simple results. See that spot right there? Paint speeding up. We're just gonna trick there is real thin paint over and over and over. It'll go away. Just gotta let that paint grab a hold. Such a good miniature. Yeah, thanks. I think so as well. Huge props to the designers. Huge props. Everyone from I'm trying to think who drew the pose. I think it was Preston drew the pose on this. I can't remember who the sculptor was. And then Marco is our sculpting director. So Marco works with the sculptors and guides their hands. And then we have big fancy meetings where we all check out the prototypes and make sure they're on the right path, and it's a whole big group effort. Give him blue hair, lol. Yoda Mike, you're out of control. So obviously this is a much lighter tone than one Mr. Moff Gideon would be, but I'm going to use this as like a foundation to build into a darker skin tone, and this will end up being sort of my highlights. So I'm going to paint basically kind of around it. Our Spec Ops questions off the table today. I mean, I'm not a developer, so I'll answer what I can about it, but we're probably not going to give too much information. I know it's fun. It's a neat little project we've been working on for quite a while. And it's pretty fun being able to take a project and put it out for like a more open beta to let people kind of check it out and be a part of the process. So that's always neat. You don't get to do that over everything, but for Spec Ops, it was right. I am excited. I've been talking about, yeah, there's basically all the infos out there. It's a beta and you have the rules. I don't know what questions you'd have. Timing questions? Don't ask me those. I'm the really wrong person. Black Darksaber, because that's the way we start. Are you excited for Spec Ops? Yeah. I am like, what if it was this? What if we did this? What if we did this? What if we had this in the game? And
Absolutely confirmed that Dallas was very excited about Spec Ops.
absolutely. I'm like, we could do this. We could do this. So I need a little. Where is that bottle of? Oh, I think it got moved. All right, we're gonna have to do it without the medium. Woo! Yeah, and that's exactly what it's for, is to give people options. Options are good. A lot of different options to play with your collection. It plays totally different than, Shatterpoint. It's going to be something really, really fun. It's really, really fun. It's really, really special. So I'm going to use a little bit of red. I'm going to put a little red shading. A little too red, maybe. Let's pull that back just a touch. Mix some red into the skin tone. Yeah. We need a little flesh tones in there. We're going to start building in the darkness. Sounds like future questions, Big Bad Andy. We don't do future here. Future's in motion. And I might say something like, well, yes, we've been planning this. And then like something happens down the road where it doesn't work out. And then you're like, but Dallas said. And everybody's like, whoa, Dallas can't say that. And then I'm like, oops, I said that. It's better to talk about something when you know it's going to happen. When you know it's going to happen. There's so many factors in the world shipping is still kind of a mess, and so it's better to err on the side of caution. Plus, we have a marketing team. I'm gonna let Summer do Summer's job. Okay, this side's pretty light, but that's okay. We're gonna darken it up as we go along. I'm just gonna keep building in darkness, but I need some red in there first. Upcoming Dallas painting sessions with Shatterpoint? The answer to that is yes. Of course. Do I typically start with faces? Yeah, I do typically start with faces. We're going to get a little green and red mixed together now. Start building in more shadows, building up that tone. Yeah, typically I start with faces. You absolutely 100% do not have to start with faces. It's just my preferred method. I like setting this sort of tone and character first and making sure my personality is coming through on the miniature before going anywhere else. I want all that personality first. So the idea here is I'm going to bring this not as a shade, but blend it out mid-tone. So it's going to cover up way more than normal and leave just a little bit of that pinky color underneath. That peachiness underneath. For the highlights. We're just going to slowly work this out. TK421. What are good pointers for an inexperienced airbrush user? Airbrush stuff. It's the best. It's like get in there and airbrush stuff. Learn to clean your airbrush, which you shouldn't have to do very often. Thin your paints. Watch a lot of videos. Experience is really the best teacher. There's lots of videos out there. So watch some videos and, get some experience under your belt, We're going to make that dark saber super, super dark. Because then the white will crackle. We're going to do the white crackle. It's going to crackle even more. And now we're just going to keep darkening it. I'm going to add a little of this like super burnt umber color to my red-green mix. The green is super important. Flesh tones of all shades have so many similarities. So like honestly, like even if I'm painting a dark skin tone, I'm typically using basically the same recipes, just a touch darker, in removing a step of highlights or emphasizing the mid-tone. So what would normally be a shade for something like Caucasian flesh might just become mid-tone. See, so I'm letting that mid-tone come through. Using that initial shade to sort of become the highlight. Those might be a little light right now, but that's okay. It can all be fixed. That's it for questions? Are we done, Summer? Time for lunch. Lunch and meetings. It's the name of my first EP. This guy was, oh man, what's the actor's name? Can never remember his name. Espanito? What's his first name? I can't remember. I'm so bad at like every actor's names. Giancarlo Esposito, yeah. So he has such an interesting face. He's so distinct and interesting face. It was a lot of fun working on this miniature to kind of get that likeness in there. Oh, I love color theory talk. My favorite thing about color theory is breaking the rules of color theory. So we're going to go right to the edge here. Just the tiniest tip of the brush. It's a little light colored blue. I don't like going to straight pure white immediately. I like a little color in there first. So I got a little white, a little light blue. Where does a beginner go to learn the color theory? Agreed, but have to know rules and when to break them. That's craftsmanship level. That's I always consider myself a craftsman, not an artist. A lot of where I learned color theory was just reading different books and asking questions. There's several really good color theory books out there. Even you can honestly spend 15 minutes on the internet, and even Wikipedia just will give you perfectly reasonable amount of color theory. Any good tips for eyes? I tend to leave them white, as when I give them pupils, they end up cross-eyed and it ruins their look. It's not ruined. I don't like the word ruined. You didn't ruin anything. You tried something. Sometimes when you try something, it doesn't work. That doesn't mean it's ruined. That just means you tried. And failing is not a failure. Not learning from a failure is a failing. So, tips for eyes. I usually paint the orbit of the eye black. And then a good trick to learn is to come in at an angle with the tip of the brush with an off-white and paint it off-white, leaving a small touch of black around it. And then comes the tricky part, of course, putting in the pupil. And that's just a matter of not holding your breath. The worst thing you can do is hold your breath. Oh yeah, Kelfry says, is in response to TK, my wife is an artist, I just annoy her. And Kelfry says, steal the color theory books. Same principle for digital art and painting apply to minis. Absolutely. Leaving them white is great. I'm also a big fan of glowy eyes, because I find glowy eyes to be super simple for me. Dark saber. And sometimes, honestly, for tabletop miniatures, don't paint the eyes. You know, there's nothing wrong with just leaving the ocular cavity just dark for tabletop. No one's going to chide you. And if they do, you just look them right in the eye and you just say, Dallas told me I was okay. But you can just leave the ocular cavity just dark and it still works fine for tabletop. I have done that numerous times when painting a tabletop level miniature. Once you start painting studio stuff, like it becomes different, but you're getting, you know, a tabletop miniature should be for you and your enjoyment. And a studio miniature is not for you. And you're getting paid to do it. And it's a job. So you got to treat it like a job. And so you got to do it right. And, you know, you got to practice and just do it right. Let's get a little bit of that flesh mixed together for a highlight of flesh color. His nose is just kind of standing out. Now's the part where we define and refine. The forehead might be a little light still, maybe. I'm just mixing all kinds of colors. This is kind of painting with my heart and my jazz. And probably the worst and oldest brush I could find inside the studio. Can't look at chat. I got the focus. Oh, we were talking about paint eyes. Don't hold your breath when you're painting eyes. Don't hold your breath when you're painting eyes. Rule number 1. I've seen this so many times. People go to paint their eyes and they hold their breath. They're like, take a deep breath and hold it. And I'm like, do the opposite. Take a deep breath, and then right before you go in and you touch the miniature. Tony Konchak bringing me brand new paintbrushes on the fly. They're size 2 and 3. This guy.
Good old Tony.
What a guy. Let's mix some black into our color, and we're gonna darken up the moustache. See how I used that red earlier? And I kind of started my shading with that red and I put it over his lips. And then did you notice I didn't touch the lips, so now the lips are kind of red? And gives it that red, warm lifeness of a human. Nice, beautiful brown black here. Start developing that hairline. Yeah, it's fun. Like I said, it's fun working on this character because the actor just has like such a unique and distinctive face, asymmetrical, which I find awesome and fascinating. Just brings a lot of personality to the character that I really, really appreciate and love. Go one step darker. Tony doing work. It's the first time today. No, I joke. I joke. We're going to reinforce our shadows. Slightly darker tone. Get right under that brow ridge so it defines the face a lot. So I'm still breathing and I'm painting the eye. Don't hold your breath. Make sure that paint is nice and wet. You want just a touch of very wet paint on a good brush. And the brush wants a good big belly. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. The brush wants a good big belly. And that's going to provide more moisture in the paint and allow the paint to stay fluid and active. Did we choose an armor color? Can't remember if we did. Are we just going black armor while we're painting this feller? He's got these wonderful wrinkles. Accentuate that temple just a touch. He also has a lot of texture on his skin, so I'm going to use some dots. Like I said, it's just a process of defining, refining. Like I said, these are all the same colors I'd be using for almost any other flesh tone. But today we're doing something like this nice, warm brown tone. Rainbow wet blend, obviously. Sounds like a coworker. Just the tiniest amount, add a little bit of like an off-white. Just for some highlights. It's going to make the skin look more alive. With some very stark highlights. This is the hardest part, painting eyes on screen while everybody's watching. Just letting the brush kiss the miniature. Let all that dry, go almost pure black with a little touch of blue. We're gonna build in some color into the hair. Whoops. Look, sometimes you oops, okay? King of Mandalore armor. I would need reference to pull that off properly. Hey, I am a big proponent of reference. So something super specific like that, I like having reference. I don't want to botch it. Like I kind of botched that eye, but that's okay. I'll fix it with the black. Darksaber Crackle Armor. Whoa. Pure white. Emphasize the crackles on our Darksaber. So I don't know if you've ever noticed, but like around here, your coworkers will give you simultaneously the best and the worst ideas, like at the exact same moment. See how the pure white kicks up that crackle? Makes it zazzy. red armor. Let's start a couple. Let's start a couple processes here. Let's take a little black, a little blue. We're gonna water it down. I think the very first thing we need to do is get the undercloth painted in. We need some undercloth. So we're gonna start with a blue black. It can get a little messy. It's fine, it's fine. If you don't have to clean up when you're done, you didn't do it right. See, I touched it earlier and my finger oils got on it, and that is a sadness in my heart. Remnant armor, so parts from different troopers. Now we're talking hot sauce. I like the idea of this remnant armor. So let's do remnant armor. Why not? So I think that's still, let's just still stick with the black undercloth. So we're gonna blacken all that. I touched that miniature earlier, getting ready for stream, and I can totally tell I got little finger oils on there. That's why we're more careful usually. And I'm painting on stream, so I'm going to mess up a couple times, and that's okay. The black will, if we're going to do mishmash armor, the black will give us a good foundation. That's neutral. And black kind of goes to the background of everything. So it kind of lets all the armor will read and be more interesting. So let's do we think like Shore Trooper chest plate. I'm thinking Shore Trooper chest plate. I love Shore Troopers. Oops, that was a lot of paint. It's all right. Shores are a reason I got in the Legion. I love Shore Troopers. I think their armor is just super cool looking. They got a cool helmet. I think what we'll do here is, since we're going into a remnant and he's like really hodgepodging it up, let's establish some interest. We're going to take the same color, we're going to cross it over to the shoulder. I think on this side, let's build in white. So if you remember with white, we don't want pure white. We want a selection of off-whites. Grays, blues, greens, all the wonderful colors. Because white is reflecting every color back. And if you look at something that's white, it's usually not. So we're going to use a little of that. We said red, like an imperial. Somebody out there with OCD is screaming about this brush. Don't worry, kids. So am I. So am I. We're going to want a little gray blue and brown mixed together to make our shade for our Shore Trooper armor. Really, it's about making sure colors is in the right spot and your value is in the right spot. Or It just works. Oh, darken down our white. Little blue, little black. Building in some shadows. Like getting loose and sketchy. Not trying to paint perfect. Just trying to paint something cool for y'all. Red needs to be kicked up just a notch, one layer. Not gonna cut it. A little more brown blue with our sandstone color. A little bit darker shade on our short armor. Deep shadows. Someday I'm going to paint some shore troopers. For myself. I feel like that needs a little more warmth, so I'm going to grab some of my warm, like a burnt umber. I'm going to kind of glaze it, just a touch. Not really treating it like a shadow, but more just like missing tone. Yes. Too much. There we go. There we go. Same thing with the white. Hey Dallas, how many different colors are you gonna paint today? Oh, I don't know, maybe like one? No. No, let's do 8 colors. Tony, I will steal those shore troopers off your desk. Tip of the brush. Let the paint do its work. Paint wants to do its work. Let it. You gotta let it. You gotta let it do its work. Went like a little sanguine wine for the red shadow, the first red shadow. It's a little too blue, but that's okay. This is the deep shadow. I painted my occupier crew like the super tank driver in Mandalorian. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that occupier has the white. Are you talking about the white armor? From, if I remember Mandalorian correctly, it was like a white armor tank driver. Yeah, it was actually just the other day. I was just like, no, there's shores in the occupier, and I was like, oh no, those are not shore troopers at all. Those are tank drivers. I think we need a little more off-white or a mid-tone here, especially right here. This needs to be a little more dinged up, just a touch. A little more blue. I think this little handle bit can be black, and then later on we can be silver. Now we're getting some pink and some highlights. Take our sand color, add a little white. If you've ever watched me paint, you know I like a little, what I call scritches. You tone that down just a little bit and do the top highlight. We're not talking about the Worthy today. More information about Worthy will be coming. Might even have another stream planned real soon. Yeah, wink, wink, wink. Winkety wink. Summer's giving the old winkety wink about that one. There we go. Pure white. First time pure white. Never use it. Not ever, but rarely. for those the tiniest highlights you can make in the deepest shadows. Makes it more interesting. Add a little red. Hopefully you didn't hear my tummy growl. More white. Okay, what do we think? I think the rest of the soft parts need to be black. We can add a little staining on the white armor. So what I'm doing is I'm moistening the surface and then applying a touch of paint and then sort of moistening the paint to make it splattery and spread out. I don't know, this was somebody's idea. What does that somebody think? I don't remember whose idea this was. They look like the boots of... We could make them look like the boots of the snow troopers. He's just wearing some big old snow boots. No, guys, seriously, they're stylish. Like Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, I think we're going with like a little more. It's just a different black than the cloth. So there's a little more blue-gray to it. Sometimes I can paint the whole mini in an hour. Today's not that day, is it? Oh gosh, we're already over, Summer. Surprised you didn't make me stop. I mean, we painted 3 types of armor, a face, and a dark saber in an hour. I feel that's pretty good, right? I feel that's pretty good. I'm very proud of that. So then, I mean, honestly, with the face and the face just needs a little more refining. That's a little hard to do outside of the streams. And then the undercloth needs to be painted. And then I mean, he's almost done. That's not bad. You know, I'm putting this up in the W column. I'll be real honest. It's a big W. I feel like this should be blue. I mean, he's got every other color, why not? All right, not bad, not bad. We got a true Imperial Remnant Moff Gideon with a collection of armor from all over. I think it's kind of interesting. It's different than I expected going into the stream. I got to be real honest. I was just like, there's no way they'll make me paint every color on him, and then lo and behold, it's every color, and I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for it. So hopefully that was fun and interesting, and hopefully you learned something, because that's the real goal. Like, we talked a little color theory, we talked a little paint application, talked a little philosophy, and that's my kind of stuff, you know? So keep painting, keep trying, keep asking questions, keep failing, because failing is how we learn, and you just get back up, you do it again. It's the best teacher. So everybody's, oh look, you think your Darksaber needs a brighter white highlight. The Darksaber is highlighted to pure white, so I'm not sure how much whiter I can get on that. It is pure white on the edges. I mean, it could use a little more, but I don't think I can get any more than titanium white. For all the latest news, information, and announcements, you can check us out on Twitter and or Instagram. That's where we post cool stuff. Like today we posted Legion Spec Ops. You should check that out. It's a fun little sort of alternate way to play with your Legion miniatures. I'm super excited about it. And every Tuesday and Wednesday here on Twitch, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can check us out for Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. And 2 of those streams, so 1 week a month, we play games. The rest of the time we paint, which is super fun. But then you should check us out for the game streams. When's the game? That's like in 3 weeks now, right? It's February 1st.
Gosh, yeah, 3 weeks.
There's literally only like 2 weeks in February.
That's what I could do.
Yeah, because you're like, wait, it's February. It's only like 2 weeks. So until next week, go be the heroes you want to be, and we'll catch you later. Goodbye. And now's the part where